0-0 of Cole Custer. Flat spot in the tire there. Johnny Jackson getting in a little trouble in the carousel. Final corner, or second to last corner. That's Daniel Hemrick going off course, mowing a little turf. Catherine Legg in her very first NASCAR start, off track in the 15. And Brendan Gaughan, our in-race analyst, took us for a ride with helmet cam.
And most recent winner, Chase Elliott, sliding through the grass as he came out of turn 4.
Just right rear steps out. Locks it down, blows the right side tire. Trying to keep this car out of the dirt, because you've seen it time and time again what the splitter does to what the grass does to the splitter when it digs in. Luckily, he gets in that grass a little bit, but had it slowed down enough.
I really believe there's some potential to run faster, as Michael said, when the hubs are warm, the gears warm, the transmission's warm. Oh, sideways!
Nice save. When I say save,
that was a save.
No concrete. If there was an issue with the tire,
you can see the black marks that those rear tires are making right there. Watch now, Sim. He's going to jam that throttle down. That's where all the smoke comes from, to keep that truck from backing up any further.
So Spencer Davis. Oh, the good news and bad news of it. The good news is he didn't get into the wall and tear up the truck. The bad news is he'll have to put on 4 different tires and start at the rear of the field this afternoon.
You could see that splitter digging into the grass. He's lucky that he didn't suffer damage to that splitter due to that right there. You're supposed to call 811 before you dig, too. He didn't really have time.
The 0-2 of Austin Hill running 5th. And Matt Mills into the wall. Boy, had such a great job in qualifying. And started slipping back a little bit in that first stage.
Just looked like loose and down into the corner. Did it look like maybe he was trying to reach over and side draft Johnny Sauter a bit?
Yeah, couldn't tell from that angle, but when it got a little bit loose, then he corrected, and then he just had to use some more room, and then finally the rear end kicked around. Hard contact with a safer barrier.
So under caution here at Michigan. And if you're somebody like Brett Moffitt, who had stayed out, did not pit the first time, thinking about maybe you could run the first 2 stages before you come to pit road, that certainly helps this caution and the caution laps, because the fuel window is pretty close there to stay out for 2 stages.
It was very close, because we had 3 pace laps, and he was able to save during the caution. Let's see if we can ride along. This is Cody Coughlin we're riding along with. Whoa.
Yeah, that top lane will prevail. There you go.
Boy, that thing snapped quick, didn't it?
Because Crafton was below him. He couldn't make the inside pass, and now he's gotten loose, and the 45 is going around, and contact for Fontaine.
All right, gathered up. Keep covered. You got 3 or 4 behind you. All the tires up.
No, we got bigger problems than that, too.
Get down a little bit. Get down out of the
Just flat tires.
We saw the 2 of Cody Coughlin get loose up there in that corner, and then I don't know if it was a reaction from Fontaine to what he saw ahead, but pretty heavy contact to the right front. That'll more than likely end his day.
Final stop for the 52, and the yellow is going to come out as Myatt Snyder has had contact.
He may have had contact with Grant Enfinger as they were trying to get to pit road.
Oh, one of them.
Oh no.
Was he braking to try to get down to get to pit road? And he was hit in the back. See the damage to the rear of the 13 truck? I think maybe Josh Rayoum was at the 33 that clipped him in the rear when Snyder was trying to get to pit road.
Boy, Myatt Snyder's spent a good part of this day inside the top 10. That's unfortunate.
Not sure
for the young driver.
The red light wasn't on when he got to the entrance to pit road.
Watch the contact. I think that's Snyder trying to slow for pit road and was hit. Does that Dalton
Sargent that got into him? It was.
Top 2 contenders for Rookie of the Year getting into one another. The final lap. Moffitt gets a little bit of a push, and he gets underneath Johnny Sauter.
They're side by side.
The lead and the win. Sauter and Moffitt side by side at the line. It's Brett Moffitt. He's done it again.
Good job, dude. Awesome job. Yeah, baby. That's the timing right there. Hell yeah. Good job, guys.
Another last lap pass for Brett Moffitt at Michigan.
Spin coming out of turn 4, and it looks as though Eric Jones is going to be able to keep it going the right direction, but he does get it into the grass. Kelly.
Middle of 3 and 4, coming off turn 4 here. Same thing we saw yesterday with Chase Elliott. Gets loose, spins out. It's a slick racetrack. It's going to be that way all day long as these guys fight for grip. Last night.
Actually, early this.
Oh, we got a crash behind him.
Way back behind him. Truex is involved.
They got
78 William Byron. Truex trying to keep it out of the traffic now. In the middle of the track.
Still got a few more coming here. 2 more.
I don't think Truex hit anything aside from maybe the damage between the 2 cars colliding in the middle of the racetrack, but Byron's car did back into the fence. Exactly what happened. William doesn't want to go to that bottom ground. He's already loose.
Yeah.
I think he may have had a flat tire. God, that thing looked so loose turning off into turn 1. I thought he was driving into the middle groove purposely and not going to the bottom. Going to force Truex into the top groove, into the high groove, outside of the groove. And Williams' car looked so loose off the wall.
Yeah, he was loose early in the corner. Truex, he's seeing what's going on.
Hang on to it, hang on to it, hang on to it.
Look at him downshift. Holy cow, man. He downshift, stood in the throttle. That is what saved him from backing into the wall. Incredible. Because anytime he's...
Look at Williams' car. See it already wiggling? See the back of the car? He's shaking around. He's understanding he's got a problem, and he's having to turn that wheel and correct, and he's just walking it up the racetrack the entire time. And then when Truex gets beside him, now the air comes off the car on top of being loose anyway, and 78 goes around. Unfortunately, William gets in the wall.
Kelly.
I can tell you Martin Truex Jr. not very happy with William Byron. It sounds like they've had some close...
This is how you get turned around.
Well, you see A.J. Allmendinger coming on pit road, going to turn to go in his spot, and when he did, Casey Kane just wasn't expecting him to slow down right there and make contact to ride along. You can see he puts it in neutral, boom, right there.
Right here.
You know, you say you want to carry a tire with your tire, and it eventually cut the tire, and when it did it, it took the rear brake line with it as also, so he's got some work to do to get back on the racetrack.
Advantage because he's been faster than both of them all day.
Oh, contact.
And Eric Jones trying to keep it out of the wall. He spins.
Hold on.
Caution comes out. He drops right back in front of traffic.
Take that middle line.
And Eric, I mean, if you're Eric Jones, I think you have to expect it. You're going to get a little more room than that. I mean, if not, you're going to be put out there in that gray stuff. And I just don't think Eric thought that Ryan wasn't going to keep going to the bottom, but it's just, you know, sometimes things happen when you're racing. You know what I mean? It's hard just to point the finger and say it's always somebody's fault. It's just racing, going for a spot.
That's right. I mean, you got to take, if you're Blaney, you don't go to the bottom and give the guy an option to drag race you and beat you down the back straightaway. You take that preferred line. If he's back there on your right rear quarter panel, you drive in the corner, take the line you want.
And the problem with that is when Eric catches him the next time, he'll say, you know what, I'm going to take whatever line I want.
That's what you got to do.
That's why drivers get mad.
That's right.
So behind the tire.
Hang on to it.
Oh, the cautions come out.
On the fence. 13 car, I believe.
Martin Truex
Turn down the
Jr.
hill. Turn down the hill.
was scored as the highest scored lap down car when the caution came out. More than likely, he will get the free pass. Ty Dillon, the flames rolling underneath the 13. I'm sure they will be telling him to get out of that car. He'll drop the window net and climb out as quickly as he can.
See the white car on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Ty. Oh, he ran over something. What the heck? Yeah, he ran over something, and then I don't know if it knocked an oil line out of it, Steve. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like oil smoke because it's coming out of both front tires. And right there, the right front tire looks up.
Wow. This is huge.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. That angle of impact.
Spring rubber flying out of the car.
Let's go back and see if we can figure out what that was that he ran over.
Did he run over something, or did something?
Yeah, it was.
Did it not?
There was
no,
something
see
in
it
the
in
middle
there,
of
the
the
racetrack right there? Boom, and then, wow. I don't know if it knocked the oil line out of it, or, the oil filter that is mounted down there pretty low in front of the engine right there. The whole car jumped up in the air when he ran over it, so it's something solid.
Yeah, and then you can see the dark streak behind the car. It's oil for sure.
It's got a piece of tape on
Is that
it.
a piece
Looks like
of
orange
lead?
tape.
Looks like a
That's got a piece.
tungsten.
Yeah, that's got to be a weight. Because watch the damage it does to this car.
Yeah, watch the front jump up when it hits it. If that is a piece of tungsten, look
Just
at that.
tears that splitter off.
If that is a piece of tungsten, Steve, they'll have to be labeled by the car numbers, right?
Right.
And
The only thing I'm questioning, though, is if it was a piece of tungsten, you think you wouldn't explode it.
I agree.
Yeah, it wouldn't
I
have
don't.
disintegrated like
I don't
that.
think
I've
it was.
unfortunately seen people hit it's a dangerous thing. That's why it's such a penalty, and you have to label it. Whatever it was, it exploded. But guys, it was not a spring
Cautious.
rub.
Don't make a mistake. Get caught, Steve.
Look at the left rear quarter panel of Jamie McMurray.
Let's take a look at how this happened. Oh, I'm guessing there's going to be some contact. No contact.
Before the contact.
You see the car actually moved around. There was so much aerodynamics that moved the car around.
Kevin Harvick hasn't had to do anything. Half speed today. He has been dominant. He's led 108 laps from Michigan. He'll win again in the Irish Hills.
Hell of a job, man. Hell of a job.
There's Brendan going too wide through there.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose. I love his just go for it attitude. You put him in this position where he doesn't have to worry about anything.
Making his first start in the Xfinity Series, Dylan Murcott is off in the 55 car. He stuffed it in the tire barrier pretty good. Bottom of the screen, that's the turn 4 fastest part of the course.
See, against that tire barrier that runs down the left side too, and then head on into those tires.
At that point, he knows.
Yes.
And now it's time to do something.
Yeah. Minimize the damage as much as you possible. So
Scrubbed off on the left side there, and then thankfully was slowed down by that much before he got to the tire barriers.
area that runs down the. It's almost like he lost and head on into those tires.
At that point, he knows.
Yes.
And now it's time to do something.
Yeah.
And Jones, they get stacked up, and Lally has nowhere to go. The 90 comes to a complete stop.
In-race analyst Brendan Gaughan. See everything happen right here.
Down to the inside, through the grass.
Yeah, Brendan did a nice job. He didn't long. Oh, they're 3 wide.
Yeah, or 4. Way down on the bottom, Jeremy Clements in the blue and white 51. He's going to get the advantage over the other 3. And Justin Allgaier is off, into the grass. Right behind, top of 5. It is Chase Briscoe. And the back end torn off of that Mustang on the last lap.
As if there was any contact or if just got. Yeah, there's a lot happening back in there. And then it gets hit from behind.
Yep. 2 cars got bottled up. He was trying to save his car. Ooh, that's where the side got ripped off. The rear bumper cover, anyway.
Got a lot of damage to the right front of someone. Hard to see from here.
Benjamin on the inside. That is the
That'd be the 5 of Annette.
23 of Gallagher on the outside. Here goes Briscoe around. Oh! It was the 8 of Cody Ware that got into Briscoe. This just happened. Brandon Jones off into the grass.
Hit again. They're basically saving their last set of tires for maybe a late caution. Both those cars owned by Mario Gosselin just spoke to him and said they wanted to see if they could save those tires for later. Oh, as Alex Lebay goes off.
The 36 and the 90 teammates. Here comes a 21 to the inside. That's Hemrick making a dive on Custer. And off track is Ryan Reed. Can he get it through the grass and save it? Yes, keeps it out of the barrier. And he'll be able to motor back on, DJ. And could be an even bigger stage for him today as the in-race analyst, Brendan Gaughan, is off track and finds his way back
Trying to make a pass.
More cars around on the racetrack. Andy Lally coming out of the final corner has been spun in the 90. Here's Brendan heading down into turn 4. That might have been a little contact. What do you think, DJ?
Very possible.
Trying not to get stuck in the sand trap. Gaughan was Lally getting some help in the back end there from first Matt Tifft and then the 9 of Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, these drivers racing hard for every position. We're inside 20 to go now. Outside the line just a little bit. Cole Custer tries to take that spot. Allgaier brings it back across on the nose, so contact.
That was for 5th. Some help in the back end there. First Matt and then the 9 of Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, these drivers.
Contact, and Bell will go around off the bumper of Sadler.
You see, as they go through turn 1 right there, you downshift, but Sadler tried to get in there really hard. The contact started, and that's just what we've expected to see here over the years.
Here's another look. Elliott was just a little bit wide there off. No, he was right on the curbing there by that point.
Yeah, he might have got in there a little bit hot, but that's what you expect. Unfortunate for Christopher Bell, who didn't do anything wrong in that situation, but it's road course, short track racing. Sadler might have even hit that curbing that's right there, and sometimes you hit that, it'll shoot you out.
Either